That happened. That happened. Definitely was not on my bingo card. Going, hitting 7 home runs yesterday, winning 7-0 in dominant fashion. And then you come in to tonight and you get absolutely dominated. You get absolutely dominated by Christian Javier in the Astros bullpen. Your offense looked lost in this game. They couldn't touch Javier at all. And then Nola. Okay, he had 4 solid innings. But then the 5th inning. And there were question marks even going into the 5th inning too, regardless of how solid Nola was. Because the Astros, they were getting hard contact all night. All night. Hard contact all night. Nola gets into a couple of jams in the 2nd and the 4th inning. He gets out of those. So is it going to be one of those situations where, okay, if Nola gets into these jams, he's going to get out of them? And then that's there? No. Okay, 5th inning comes around. Leadoff infield single. Okay, Stott made a nice play on it. Just couldn't beat out the hustling runner. It was hit too deep in the infield. Then you get ahead in the count of Altuve. 2 strikes. I'm not sure what the pitch was. I don't remember at the point. But it was either a fastball or a changeup down and in. And 2 strikes, that's the pitch you throw. And he laces it in the left field for a hit. So runner on first and second, no out for Pena. You get ahead of him 0-2. And then 2 non-competitive pitches. Doesn't swing at them. And then you throw a curveball that hangs a little bit. And he singles. Doesn't score a run, but it loads the bases up. And then you go to Alvarado, which I still think is the right move because you got Tucker and Alvarez. Impossible situation, but Alvarado needs to get the job done. And you know how he sets the tone? He hits Alvarez on the first fucking pitch. First pitch. And then basically blows up from there. Bregman, 2-run single. Gurriel gets a hit. More RBIs on a sac fly by Tucker as well. And that's basically the ball game. You could blame pitching all you want in this game. You can. You got no hit. You got no hit. Offense tonight gave no reason for the crowd to get into the game. No reason. That was the quietest Citizens Bank Park has probably been all postseason. The last time I can even remember it getting that quiet was maybe Josh Bell's go-ahead double in Game 5 of the NLCS. It was quiet then, but it was the quietest it's ever been this entire postseason. Like, that's how anemic the offense was tonight. You had 3 base runners, all walks. Bryce Harper got on with a walk. He eventually stole second, so that was a runner in scoring position opportunity. He doesn't score there. Marsh got a walk. He stole second eventually. Didn't come around to score. And then, I believe, 18 straight batters retired since the Marsh walk. Schwarber walks at the 9th. And that's all she wrote. All she wrote. That was just embarrassing. That was embarrassing. Overall, it was. It was. Series is now tied 2-2. And something that I thought that was going to be a advantage to you going into this game, even though you still look at the rest of the Phillies bullpen, they still didn't allow a run if you take away Alvarado. But still, Alvarado coming in, that's basically the entire game there. Bilotti comes in, he was fine. Eflin looked solid. Hand surprisingly was solid. Robertson was solid out of the bullpen. But 3 out of the 4 games in this series. 3 out of the 4. Series is tied 2, we know that. 3 out of the 4, Aaron Nola and Zack Wheeler are on the mound. 2 of those were Aaron Nola. And in 3 of those 4 games with your top guys on the mound, the Astros jumped up to a 5-0 lead. with your top guys on the mound. Aaron Nola, Zack Wheeler. 3 out of the 4 games, Astros take a 5-0 lead. Game 1, you win in miraculous fashion. Rare occurrence. Game 2, it wasn't going to happen back-to-back nights. It just wasn't. You showed fight. It wasn't going to happen back-to-back nights. Then Game 3 in Philadelphia, you totally dominated them. Ranger was great. Your bullpen was great. And your offense was fantastic. 5 home runs. Can't ask for much more. Was McCullers tipping his pitches? Doesn't matter. You still hit 5 home runs. And then you come into the night and you get absolutely dominated by Javier. Dominated. I still don't understand how this guy's their 4th starter in the rotation. Honestly, this game throws him out the rest of the series. Thank God for that. He most likely won't pitch the rest of the series. Unless the Astros try to do something. Your top 2 guys. It concerns me now. Aaron Nola probably isn't pitching the rest of the series. Unless Rob decides to bring him out in a bullpen. In a crucial game. That's the only way I see Aaron Nola coming out. And still, I don't trust Aaron Nola at this point. I don't think Aaron Nola should touch the mound the rest of the series. Because he's cooked at this point. It's the longest he's gone in all postseason. He just doesn't have it. Doesn't have it. It's not good enough. It just isn't. And for as good as he was to start this postseason, 3 bad starts in a row. And yeah, no, he had the 4 solid innings to start this game. There's a ton of hard contact. The Astros were eventually going to get theirs. And Alvarado gets brought into an impossible situation. Still has to get the job done. You can't be hitting Alvarez on the first pitch. That just can't happen. It can't fucking happen. But Nola is the reason why he's in that situation. Because he 2 terrible 2 strikes, pitches. The Altuve and Pena. 2 terrible decisions. And your offense was basically anemic tonight. Couldn't get 1 single hit. You got base runners on walks. 3 base runners. And that was it. That was it. It's a joke. It's a joke. Let's see. Rob says, for him, it's a loss is a loss. At this point, you can't. You got to throw this game in the trash. You got to completely do. Offensively, do I expect them to bounce back? Yeah, I do. I expect this offense to bounce back. What concerns me the most is your top 2 guys out of the goddamn rotation. The 2 top guys that we've been talking about basically all playoffs long, who were a great majority of the playoffs. Aaron Nola had that dud in the San Diego game, in the San Diego series, but Zack Wheeler from the wild card round to the NLDS to his 2 starts in the NLCS was absolutely spectacular. And then in Game 2 of the World Series, when you're up 1-0 he's dealing with fatigue. Velocity is down. So that really concerns me for a Game 6. Because tomorrow, you're going to have Noah Syndergaard on the mound, backed up by the bullpen. You already know Wheeler's not Wheeler. You already know Syndergaard's not going more than 3-4 innings at that point. Your offense needs to win the game tomorrow. Your offense needs to have your bullpen back. Because your bullpen, besides Jose Alvarado tonight, your bullpen has still managed to shut the Astros down. Your offense against Justin Verlander, who you were able to come back from a 5-0 deficit in Game 1. You need to continue to showcase that Justin Verlander is not good in the World Series. That Justin Verlander cannot pitch in the World Series. Your offense needs to explode tomorrow. It's really crazy that every single game of this World Series has not been close. Well, Game 1 was close because of the comeback in the extra innings. But Game 2, 5-0 lead. The Phillies were going to come back from that. Game 3, 7-0 shutout. And then here, 5-0 shutout with a combined no-hitter. Like, seriously, this doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. It completely does not make sense. Javier, I know Javier's nasty, but the dude clocks 93 to 95. Like, how is his fastball that unhittable? It boggles my mind how his fastball is that unhittable. But then this game also shows like the strengths of the Houston Astros. We all knew this series wasn't going to be easy. We all knew this series was not going to be easy. It was not going to be a cakewalk. Series is still 2-2. It just concerns me a little bit. Like, you know, this is me overanalyzing, me panicking and all that stuff because I wanted the series to be finished in Philadelphia. I did not want to go back to Houston because then that puts you in a spot where, you know, you have to put Zack Wheeler, who is fatigued, on the mound, who clearly got roughed up in game 2. Will the extra rest help him? I have no idea. Fatigue is fatigue. This is the longest any of these pitchers have gone into the playoffs in their career. All of it, maybe besides like a David Robertson. That's basically it. Do I expect the offense to bounce back? Yes. I don't think the offense is going to completely shut down the rest of the series. I just don't see it. If you look at basically the entire playoffs, the offense has had 2 bad games overall, I would say. That was game 2 in the NLDS against Kyle Wright, against the Braves, and in this game tonight. Every single game so far in this postseason, they showed fight. Every single game. These are one of the 2 instances where they didn't show fight at all, and they got dominated by a pitcher. I expect the offense to bounce back. The series is nowhere close to over. It's not. 2-2, anything can still happen. And you know how you make people forget about tonight? You know how you make people forget about tonight? You go win a World Series. It's still winnable. It definitely is still winnable. What's Noah Syndergaard going to give you tomorrow? I have no idea. I have no idea. But your offense needs to go after and continue to prove that Justin Verlander can't pitch in the World Series. It's got to continue to prove that. Throw this game in the trash. It's all you can do. It's all you can do. Not saying this series is over by a long shot. No way in hell. 2-2 series. Basically, at this point, what is it? A best of 5, 3 or something like that? Best of 3? I guess. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. You got 2 wins. Astros got 2 wins. If you're looking at the way the rotation's set up, you got Noah Syndergaard with a bullpen game tomorrow. Then Zack Wheeler on Saturday for game 6. Verlander tomorrow for the Astros. I would assume it's Valdez in game 6 for them. And then game 7, if you even get to that point, I have no idea. It would most likely be Rangers, Suarez, maybe McCullers, or they go back to Javier on short rest. I don't know. I don't want to look that far ahead. Tomorrow's important. Tomorrow's important. You need to win tomorrow. You need to win tomorrow going back to go back to Houston with a lead. You need to win tomorrow. You need to make another statement tomorrow showing that, okay, we're not going to let that happen again. We're not going to let that happen again. We're not going to get embarrassed like that again. I want all those guys in that dugout saying that to themselves, saying that to each other. You still believe in yourselves. We still believe in this. We're not going to allow that to happen again. That's not happening in our house again. You've proven this series you can shut this Astros lineup down. Certain aspects, you were able to hit Verlander. You got the Valdez a little bit, but he still dominated you. You couldn't get the Javier, and you crushed McCullers. Now, what does that say for tomorrow's game? Like I said, I expect the offense to bounce back mightily, because your offense really needs to win tomorrow. Your offense needs to win you the game tomorrow, because you have Noah Syndergaard. Like I said, he's not going more than 3-4 innings. Then he's backed up by the bullpen. And then he gets Zack Wheeler for game 6. Your offense needs to step the hell up tomorrow. I know we dominated them in game 3. They dominate us here tonight. You got to win tomorrow. Tomorrow's must win. Tomorrow's must win. Even though it's a World Series, every single game is must win. There's a lot of pressure tomorrow. You got to win. You got to win. You got to get that ballpark energy back. Because this was the quietest Citizens Bank Park has been the entire playoffs. The entire playoffs. It's got to be. You got to bounce back tomorrow. Now, do I expect them to bounce back tomorrow? Yes, I do. Because that's what this team has shown all year. Fight. That they don't sit down and die. Yeah, they sat down and died tonight. They got no hit. But do I expect them to sit down and die the rest of the World Series? No, I don't. They got to this point for a reason. Now continue to show why you got here in the first place. Make everyone forget about tonight. And go win the next 2 games. Win tomorrow and win game 6. And I'm sure that's the mentality in that clubhouse right now. That this is not going to happen again. This is not going to happen again to us. Because it can happen. Because that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. That was total domination from the Astros standpoint. Total domination. Just look at everything right here. Offense. Schwarber 0 for 3 with a walk. Hoskins 0 for 4. Surprisingly, he didn't strike out. JT 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Harper 0 for 2 with a walk. Castellanos 0 for 3. Bohm 0 for 3. Stott 0 for 3. Segura 0 for 3. And Marsh 0 for 2 with a walk. You left 3 people on base. 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position because those 2 guys stole base. And for the Astros, they were 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Altuve 1 for 5. Pena 2 for 5. Alvarez 1 for 4 with a hit by pitch. Bregman 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Tucker 1 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. Gurriel 2 for 4 with an RBI. Vasquez 1 for 3. Diaz 0 for 4. He had a terrible night. 3 strikeouts. And McCormick 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Our pitching. Aaron Nola, 4 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 67 pitches. Jose Alvarado, inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts on 22 pitches. Is he going to be available tomorrow? Most likely. He hasn't pitched basically in 4 days since, so he's going to be available tomorrow. Andrew Bellotti, 9 pitches, 1 strikeout. He was solid again. David Robertson, 1 inning, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 11 pitches. He was solid. Zack Eflin, solid. He struck out the side. And Brad Hand was solid in the 9th. 16 pitches, allowed 1 hit. So, besides Alvarado, your bullpen still hasn't allowed a run to the Astros. All you can do is show up tomorrow and win. Immediately, you throw this game in the trash. Immediately, you throw this game in the trash. Bounce back. Talk to yourselves in that dugout. This shit ain't happening again. We're not getting embarrassed again. That's not happening on our home turf. We're going to win tomorrow night and go back to Houston up 3-2 with a chance to win the World Series. I want that offense to explode tomorrow against Justin Verlander. The bullpen's going to need all the help it can get. It's going to need all the help it can get. The Astros, besides Alvarado, they have struggled against our bullpen, even though nothing is guaranteed. This World Series has been completely unpredictable. Completely. Astros take the 5-0 lead in the game 1. The Phillies come back and win 6-5 in extras. Astros win 5-2 in game 2. Phillies destroy them in game 3, winning 7-0, hitting 5 home runs. And then the Astros win when it combined no-hitter tonight. Nothing's predictable. Nothing is predictable. But you need to show up tomorrow, help your bullpen out. Noah Syndergaard, you need to be good, along with the rest of the bullpen. You need to go after Justin Verlander. You proved that in game 1 to where you can come back down from game, 5-0 and winning that game. So you should have confidence against Verlander. Come back and give that crowd in Philadelphia, in South Philly, Citizens Bank Park, something to cheer about. Because that ballpark was dead. I'm pissed. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. I'm a little bit concerned, but I still believe in the team. This is immediate reaction from the game. Still, it's a 2-2 series. This ain't over yet. This shit ain't over yet. Still a long series to go. One more game in Philadelphia, and then a possible 2 more games in Houston. The shit's not over. There's still a great chance for you to win the World Series. Am I concerned with Nola and Zack Wheeler not being the guys that you need to, to succeed? Yeah. Am I concerned that Ranger Suarez has been your only starter so far to shut down the Astros? Yeah. Good on Ranger, but I'm concerned about the rest. Am I concerned about the offense overall? No. No, I'm not. I expect the offense to bounce back tomorrow. It's all you can do. It's all you can do. Throw this game in the trash, throw it away, come into tomorrow, and have the mindset that shit ain't happening again. It's not. It's mandatory. It's mandatory to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's must win. Tomorrow is must win. Then you have the day off on Friday to go into Saturday for Game 6 in Houston. I'm annoyed. I'm just annoyed at this point. To get no hit. Like, even getting a hit tonight, I would have considered a victory in that aspect. But getting no hit. Like, are you serious? No hit. No hit. And yeah, credit to the Astros. But the one thing that makes everyone forget about tonight, you go and win a World Series. It's the only thing you make people forget about tonight. Go win a World Series. Respond tomorrow. Respond. It's the only way you can do it now. Just got to respond. This series has been a basically just constant back and forth punches throughout. You threw the haymaker in Game 1. Astros threw one right back in Game 2. You threw an uppercut in Game 3, a major uppercut, right to the chin. And then the Astros followed that up with a gut punch in tonight's game. You got to win tomorrow. You got to win tomorrow. Offense needs to show up. Your bullpen plus Thor needs to be really good tomorrow. And who knows what's going to happen. Still, I believe in this team. I believe in their ability. Series ain't over yet. It's got to happen. Just got to happen. It's all you can do. It's all you can do at this point. Just annoying. Just annoying overall. It is. Just is. So, let me see if there's anything on Twitter from the guys in the locker room tonight. See if there's anything here. Let's see. Alvarado, little off tough the way we brought him in, trying to keep the damage to a minimum. Resiliency to come back, second time in history, no hit in New York versus the Mets and came back the next day and won. These guys have a short memory. They're going to come back and prep and shake it off. Loss is a loss. That's the way I look at it. Nola. Feeling, obviously, not the way I wanted it to go. Wanted to put up the zeros, but the fifth got away from me. Harper ran into some good pitching, and sometimes that happens. Flush that game tonight and get ready for tomorrow. Saying ran into some good pitching. It happens. Blah, 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 blah. Just got to go get it tomorrow. Last time we got no hit, we bounced back the next day. Yeah, basically flushed. It's the same stuff that they're going to be saying. God. Kyle Schwarber on how it felt to get no hit in the World Series. Schwarber says, I really don't give a shit. I guess we'll be in the history books. Turn the page, tough to turn the page? Absolutely not. Well, these guys have the right mentality, and that's what they should have. It's what they should have. That's basically the exact thing that you got to have. Tying the World Series single game record for most home runs, then immediately getting no hit the next night is the most Phillies things ever. It makes sense. Honestly, it does make sense. Let's see. History's been made. Blah, 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 blah. The Frankie Two Scoops, the ice cream man in the press box for the Phillies has said Phillies in 6. So I'm trying to see. Trying to see. Oh, and the Astros are taunting Jalen Hurts. Interesting. Let's see. You know how you respond. You know how you respond. Punch him right back in the gut. Honestly, not even the gut. Punch him right in the dick. That's what you do. Go into these next 2 games and punch the Astros right straight in the dick. Go with the dirty punches. Go with the dirty jabs. Fight dirty. That's how you make us forget about tonight. 2 more wins away from a World Series still. The series is nowhere near over. It's been a back and forth battle. And I continue to expect it to be that. Let's see what happens tomorrow night. It's all you can do at this point. It's all you can do at this point. All you can do. Bounce back. The guys have that mentality right now to bounce back tomorrow. Yeah. It's annoying. It's annoying. It is. It's frustrating to get no hit after what happened yesterday. You know how you respond? Win tomorrow night. Win tomorrow night. And then you're a game away from winning the World Series. That's how you respond. So, let's go to the live feed here before we end off tonight. Embarrassing. Game 6, I'm hoping. Take another shower. Pissed off. The Astros won the first. No, the Astros are not the first team to get a no-hitter. This is the second World Series no-hitter, actually. Don't want to hear it. No one hit embarrassing. Yep. Let's see. Split in Houston. Hope for 2 out of 3 at home. Hopefully split in Houston. Can't really have expected more. Nola wasn't great, but you could have had Doc Holliday pitching. We scored the basically. I will say the Phillies are probably the only team that will not let this affect them going forward. Yeah, I believe that. I still think the Phillies win in 7. Verlander may be the number 3 pitcher on the Astros staff right now, so that's a plus. Maybe it should have been a bullpen day instead of starting Nola, but it doesn't matter if the batters can't hit. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at that point. Let's see, we're getting the bots in here. Let me report these bots. Get them out of the chat here. Spam bots. Get that shit out of my chat. Remove. Let's see. Can't win when your top 2 pitchers stink. Yeah, it's also something there. The question is, who comes in after Syndergaard tomorrow? That is a tough question. Do you go back to Bilotti? Would Bilotti be the first guy out of the pen? Would it be Brogdon? It really depends on the situation. I would expect 3 first time through the order for Syndergaard, depending on how everything goes. I would assume Brogdon or Bilotti is the first guy. Hell, do you go Kyle Gibson? Do you go Kyle Gibson out of the bullpen? I don't know. Even if they win, Wheeler is hurt. At that point, it doesn't matter. You still got to go out there and pitch. Wheeler, Alvarado was terrible. Yes, he was. Phillies in 6. 2-2 in the World Series. Not a bad spot to be in. Phillies in 6 or 7. Bump in the road. Phillies still got this. We demolished them last game. Everyone said momentum is all ours now. They demolished us tonight and is saying that they have all the momentum now. That's the World Series. Anything could happen. Bullpen game could be good for the Phillies. Won't let the Astros see the same pitcher more than once. How are you feeling for tomorrow? Depends. I'll probably be nervous the entire day. Phillies win game 3 7-0, and we lose tonight 5-0. Really can't predict anything. People are upset at the Phillies, which is understandable, but like this one, of, if not the best pitching the World Series has ever seen. Where am I at? Will you be covering the Union game? Probably not. Soccer's just not my thing, but I'll probably maybe I'll watch them, and it really just depends. Because now your game 6 is guaranteed, and both teams play tomorrow or Saturday. And it's funny, both the Eagles and the Phillies play tomorrow, so that's gonna be interesting. Should have Jill Biden. Tomorrow really decides it. Nervous as hell. Phillies win the odd number games, so we win games 5 and 7. Who was the first no-hitter? It was, I believe it's in the 50s, I believe, in the World Series. It was a perfect game, too, I think. Moving forward, Nola won't be on the team next year, and they need 2 starting pitchers. If they don't score 5 or 6 runs, won't matter who's pitching. I really thought they were winning the World Series. The no-hit situation just leaves a bad taste. Yeah, basically, that's it. But Julian, you know how they bounce back? You win a fucking World Series. You win a fucking World Series. That's how you do it. I don't know how they're going to do it. Can you clone Ranger Suarez? I would wish. Honestly, I wish at this point. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Bounce back the next day. Bounce back the next day. That's all you can do at this point. It's all you can do. It's frustrating. It leaves a terrible taste in your mouth. We're going to have that terrible taste in our mouth basically until first pitch tomorrow. But I still believe they can win. I still firmly believe they can win. This series has been haymakers back and forth. But whoever throws the first dick punch, I think that wins the World Series. Do you call, combined no-hitter a dick punch? I would say it's more of a gut punch at this point right now. It really depends on what happens the rest of the series to where you can consider that. If the Phillies bounce back and win tomorrow, got to see. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber said he doesn't care about getting he doesn't give a shit. Bounce back tomorrow. There's another game tomorrow. That's the mentality you got to have. You can't be moping around, think, oh, we got no hits, might as well give up. No. We lost today. We sucked. Bounce back tomorrow. Throw it in the trash. Series is tied 2-2. Still got one more game at home. Win tomorrow, you go in Houston up 3-2. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Can't mope around this. Can't mope around this. How many times have the Phillies been no-hit in their history? I have no idea. They were a no-hit earlier in the year, combined no-hitter by the Mets. They did bounce back that next night and won. Ump has to call that ball that Schwarber hit fair and let it go to review. It was a good call by the umpire. It was like a split-second decision. He had really no time to think about it. He made the right call. It was foul. Nothing you can do about it. Then Gene Segura had that hard hit that went right under Tucker's glove. One of those nights. Sadly, it happened in Game 5 of the World Series. And it's going to leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Just is. Just is. This team's not going to hold it on their shoulder. Like what Kyle Schwarber said. Don't give a shit. Bounce back tomorrow. It's a World Series. Anything can happen. It's frustrating. It just is. It's insanely frustrating. But you know how you make people forget about this shit? Win tomorrow, and then you go up 3-2, then you have a better chance to win the World Series. Never said this series was going to be easy. Astros are an 106-win team for a reason. They won 106 games for a reason. They were the best team in the American League for a reason. They've been to the American League Championship Series 6 years in a row for a reason. They're a great ran organization, regardless of the cheating scandal or not. This series was never going to be easy. This Astros team was never going to sit down and die either. And now you got to fight back. You threw haymakers. They threw haymakers. Now it's your time to throw one back. And that starts tomorrow night, 8:03. First pitch, Noah Syndergaard on the mound. That they're wearing the retro blues tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So, it's going to do it for tonight's video, everyone. It's going to be hard to sleep tonight, definitely. But like the Phillies players, they're saying in their post-game presser, Let's see. Yeah, tonight sucked. Yeah, basically what everyone's saying. Don't give a shit. Move on to tomorrow. Move back. I believe in this team still. I believe in their ability. They got 2 more wins to win a World Series. I think they can still do it. It's going to be a tough task. I still think they can do it. I still think they can. So, thank you everyone for joining tonight. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything in the description down below. Painted Lines, BrodesMedia, recommend all that. Same thing with hitting the subscribe button. It goes a very long way. It'll do me a great deal. Definitely hit the subscribe button. And also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Use it for anything you can think of. It is a great deal. Do not pass up on that. Thank you everyone for joining the stream once again. This World Series is tied 2 games apiece. Phillies lose in embarrassing fashion, but bounce back tomorrow. Win a World Series eventually in the next 2 games. Or even Game 7, push it to Game 7. Whatever you do, you find a way to win this World Series. We forget about tonight. So that's going to do it, everyone. Thank you, everyone.